Today we find ourselves at the Patapsco Valley State Park, and we are going to go to an abandoned town, and we'll learn more about the abandoned town. But it is called Daniels. It was a mill town. It has actually had a couple different names, Ellisville and also Albertson. And to get there, we're going to be walking down the old Albertson Road. So let's get hiking. Well, it is an old road.
Oh, that's right. This is the street, isn't it? This might be fun to ride on a bike.
Yeah, it might be. Old concrete from something.
Yeah. An old foundation.
Yep.
It's a big rock.
It's a very big rock. Little side trail. I like this view because you can see where the road is just. Yeah. So we are seeing some foundations sitting here and remnants of life because they obviously don't grow wild. But if everything I read was correct, this is going to be in no way like Thurmond, where the buildings are all still in existence. This will be closer towards Nuttleberg, where we're going to be looking at foundations. So a cross between like Nuttleberg and like Kmore. So Kmore still had some of the building walls up. It's going to be a cross between those two.
Yeah.
But it's still cool to see.
Okay.
Not every day you go to an abandoned town and find a whole town that's gone. Well, not every day, except that we've done it how many times this year already. The town of Daniels, where we're going, was originally Ellisville, and it was a cotton mill town, founded in the 1820s. The B&O Railroad came through in 1831. The Alberton Manufacturing Company took it over in 1853. James S. Gary bought it in the 1870s, and the C.R. Daniels Company bought it then afterwards. So we stepped off the main Albertson Road. We're going up a fire road because I have read that there is an old Roman Catholic church. This Roman Catholic church was built in the 1800s. And it did, yeah, there it is. And it did eventually burn down. And they never rebuilt it because they only had a priest that came out once or twice. So there it is. And there's cars in the gully. Oh my. Lots of cars. So this is the St. Stanzaloz Koska Roman Catholic Church. It was built in 1879. And the church actually stood until it was struck by fire and burned in September of 1926. And the church had no full-time priest, so when it burned down, they never rebuilt it. The priest would just come once or twice a month. Somewhere behind the church, there is a gold graveyard, and we are going to look for that. I've heard that some of the stones are still there. Some of them have been marked down, but we're going to try to find it. So here we go. It's hard to believe this church was built about 150 years ago, about 140 years ago. The church has been not in use for almost 100 years. About 94 years ago is when it burnt down. So for 1870, this is actually a pretty nice sized church.
Yeah.
So we're right behind the church, heading back. And I see stones already.
Oh, look over there. That's pretty cool, isn't it? This one's really neat over here.
Barbara Mitchell died in 1918.
85 years
She was
old.
85 years old. Wow.
Depending on that.
Don't know what the foundation is over there, but it was a big building.
There's a hole in it. We're gonna walk over there. Looks like you can get in it, whatever it is.
Let's go.
I'll let you first since you're filming.
The dimensions are probably, what, 100 feet?
What's that?
The dimensions of whatever this is.
At least. It was big, whatever it was. It's just like it's a retaining wall for something, isn't it? There's steps over there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Bank farm, maybe?
For what?
A bank farm, maybe?
Yeah?
I wonder what the holes are for.
We do not know what this is for, but it was rather large. Don't know why. Is that an old pipe
Looks like it.
coming out of it?
Yeah. Maybe it's an old spring. I don't know. I don't know. It's cool to find out what it was, yeah.
Yeah, it would be. And then there's steps.
There's beavers here.
Steps up to, who knows?
No trespassing is going to go up in there.
I did go home and I did do some research trying to figure out exactly what this might have been. I didn't dig too deep, just went online to a couple different places, and there wasn't much information. So we were going to just kind of say, hey, I guess this is just a mystery to us. We won't know. And then I actually saw this picture. This picture was actually when I was looking at the St. Stanzaloz Koska Roman Catholic Church. It's up there on the hill. And I know in relation to where we were hiking, and I see all of those houses right there in the front. And that makes me think that this was a retaining wall behind those houses. We're going to be crossing under the railroad bridge, and it is still an active CSX line. We just saw a CSX work truck go down the line. But you can see remnants of the old piers for an old bridge right beside it. Graffitied up, of course. So here is the next building. Kind of looks like it could have been a church with a church bell or a school. I believe there was a school, but there also was a Pentecostal church here. So I'm not sure if that's what it is.
I think it was a church. You got pentagrams everywhere.
Yeah. According to the pentagrams, everything...
It seems to be the thing.
It might have been.
Wow, the whole wall falling.
So we do have the Pentecostal Holiness Church. So just a short throw away from this church, you can probably hear the falls. Of course, if it was a mill, there would have been water power in the 1800s. Yep, and more railroad piers or... Right, we're gonna go check out what else is up here. So we are at Daniel's Dam. Across the river, there are the buildings that were the actual mill. It is private property and it is used by a business, so you can't get back to it. But I will actually go ahead and insert some pictures here. Now on this side of the river, it was mostly the houses, and the houses are almost all gone. You just see foundations. The reason for this is because in 1968, the company decided that they no longer wanted to have company housing. So they told everyone to get out. And then to keep people from staying, they actually tore the buildings down. This might sound horrible and mean, but in reality, it probably saved a lot of people. Because in 1972, a major flood came through and it demolished this little valley, and they would have most likely had a lot of death. All in all, we hiked about 5 miles. It was pretty easy, but it was actually really neat because we did get to see those two churches and the dam. And we got to see a place that is no longer here. That is gone. Part of history. So thanks for hiking with us. No excuses.